I felt like today I need to talk to the coaches out there, not just the ones that I graduated with when I went to my coaching program, but all the coaches that there are out there trying to do this whole spiritual life change where they are trying to teach others this and share their wisdom, their knowledge, share their insight, their perspective with other people. I feel like maybe I needed a reminder, or that when I reminded myself, it helped me so much. So, of course, when you feel that, then you know that others out there need that too, are in the same boat or situation as you. So, I feel like I need to remind everyone to remember who you are as a coach. And when I say that because a lot of times when we're talking to our family or friends or people who have known us in different uh, in different situations, like before we were ever a coach, before we started on our spiritual journey, things like that. These people who have grown with us and come to know us, even who we are today, um, a lot of times they'll say things to us such as, oh, I don't need a coach, I need a friend. Or just be my sister right now, not a coach. Or I'm trying to speak to my daughter, not a coach. And what they don't understand, but what we do as coaches understand, is that we will be a coach until we're done being a coach, meaning that we are coaches. There is no turning it on or turning it off. There is no, oh, I'm just a daughter today. I'm just a wife. I'm just a sister. I'm just a mother. That person who is me is also a coach, a life coach. And so there is no turning it off. And I try to explain to people in my life who do say things to me like that, that I'm not coaching you right now. I'm always going to be a coach. So I can't switch that off. I'm a coach, I'm your sister. I'm a coach and I'm your friend. I'm a coach and I'm your daughter. I'm a coach, I'm your wife, things like that. But I am a coach, meaning that that's my mindset. That's my lifestyle. That's who I am. And if you want me for me, if you want me to listen to you, you want to have a conversation, you want to hang out, if you're sharing my energetic space with me in some way and somehow, you have to be able to accept me for who I am, and that is a coach. And I have lots of other titles that fall onto me as well, but coaching is one that is going to stay. And I always let them know when they say things to me like that, that it's not coaching unless we end with a goal. And they don't really understand what that is if they've never taken a life coaching session before, or even did the complimentary sessions that we were supposed to do when we did training. But those who have actually experienced coaching understand that. And also, when our friends and family come to us with the same things over and over again, the same issues, the same situations, and they are talking to us about it because of who we are. And I'm saying that because before I was a coach, people had these conversations with me. I feel like I could serve them better now, since I've had training on what to do as a coach, how to be as a coach, and how I find myself, and being less judgmental, and more passionate about the progress and the journey that person has individually on their own. I can service my friends and family more. However, we are coaches, and we don't do this for free. We don't coach for free. And a lot of times our family and friends will come to us for our advice, for what to do. What would you tell somebody you were coaching to do, or just for your wisdom, because they know you're gonna ask them questions, or you're going to say things that will provoke thought. They will become completely focused and engaged in their situation and find a way out. And so when these types of things happen, we have to remember who we are in that situation as well, that we are a coach. So we understand that any conversation or interaction we have with someone else has the potential to drain our energy if it's something that doesn't increase our energy. Like some conversations you can have and you leave out completely refreshed, rejuvenated, alive. And other conversations or interactions you may have leave you drained and just down. So remembering who we are as a coach, when you have those family or friends or coworkers, just people who know that you're a coach, and they're coming to you for coach-like conversations. Entertain it for as long as you can. And when I say entertain it, I mean have those conversations as many times as you want, how long you want, however you can. But remember that people don't always take your profession as seriously as you do. Meaning someone may say, oh, you're a life coach, that's great. You know, what does that mean? And it's always hard for us to explain what it is, what it means, because we know that to be a life coach and to have someone understand truly the effects of a life coach or what a life coach is, what we do is that they have to experience it. And a lot of people don't want to just jump in and experience things without having a little sample first. And even with the free consultations, you know, or discovery sessions, people are still not doing the work to understand exactly what coaching is. So if we're going to give you a free session, at least do the work. But anyway, sorry, back, I'm going off on a tangent. All right, so back to what I was saying, though, is that when people are coming to us because of who we are as a coach, they know we are a life coach, and they keep coming to us with the same situation over and over again, and you're finding out, or even a situation where you're finding out that it's just draining you. It's energetically draining you and pulling you to a place you don't want to be at or a level you don't want to be at, then you need to let them know that as a coach, you're finding it difficult to keep discussing that situation with them without going into full coach mode. And without going into full coach mode, meaning that you will need to get paid for your services. So whether you have a friends and family discount, I don't know, but I definitely do. It's gotten to the point where people understood what my passion was, understood what my gifts were. And one of them were being able to work with people in their situations, help open their minds, give them a new perspective. So with those talents, I was able to turn that into my career as a life coach. But those same people who know that about me and knew that about me before I was a life coach, see the differences and see who I am as a life coach, they will come to me and want me to coach them without paying me. And I find myself, because I am reluctant to turn that coaching switch off and on, I keep it on. And so I find myself being completely and fully engaged in conversations with people who aren't paying me. I mean, yes, they're my family and friends, but I also have a life. So when I'm on the phone with my family or friend who's talking to me about the same thing that they've been talking to me about the last 3-4 times we call, or every week when we have a conversation, and I have a life going on in front of me, my son needs help with his homework, or, you know, I'm teaching, or I'm working on my own business, or I'm cooking, I'm hanging out with my husband, you know, something like that. Or even I'm just about to meditate and I'm like, oh, well, I was about to meditate, what's up? You know, no. So when that happens, you have to remember that we are pausing our life, completely taking away time from what's going on to tend to this person and their situation. And that's what we do as a life coach. We are paid for our attention and our time. We are paid to go into these situations with people and help them to find a way out. We are paid to help shift their perspective or enlighten them or broaden their perspective to understand their situation in a different light. So that requires a lot of attention and focus, where we know we can't even drive or have our client drive when we're doing a session with them. And if we have to be that fully engaged and concentrated on that person and giving all of our energy to them and receiving all of their energy back, then we have to remember that when we are feeling ourselves being pulled into that kind of coaching mode for free, for family and friends, and they know you're a business owner, they know you charge people for this stuff. So it gets to the point where, because we're not going to turn off our coaching switch, we have to turn on our business switch. And by that I mean, once you find yourself at work and you didn't know that you had a client scheduled for today on your calendar, meaning that this person is someone who just so happened to call you, and you are now treating them like a client, or they want you to treat them like a client, or what they're going through is you've heard about it over and over and over again. They haven't done anything. Let them know we've discussed this, and we can keep discussing this if you want. You can keep discussing this with how many people you want to. But you and I have discussed this umpteenth amount of times, and so it seems like you need a life coach. A life coach can help you get through this. A life coach can help you actually move past where you're at and understand your situation in a different kind of manner. So if you want a life coach, you can let me know, because I can go ahead and charge you $30 to go ahead and do it. That's what I do to my friends and family who call me, and eventually what it turns out is that they need a life coach. They don't want just an ear to talk to, and they want you to be fully engaged with them, and stressed about their situation with them, or tell them what it is you would tell your clients. When they do that, charge them. And that's harsh for some people. When I was talking to a life coach friend of mine, I was telling her, I got to the point where I told my husband, I'm going to have to charge my friend. My friend will tell me how great it is. I'm a life coach day in and day out. But never has that friend, solicited any of my services. Never have they wanted to have a life coach. Yet they call me every week with the same issue, or even with a different one, but all of it is they ask me, what do I tell my clients? And so I had to let that person know, because I was so frustrated where I did not want to pick up the phone for this person. And when you get to the point where you don't want to pick up the phone for people who you love and care about because they're family and friends, but they're draining you because you're so invested in them. And we understand as coaches that if you're invested in somebody or their situation, and the energy is flowing out just from you toward them, then you are completely giving away energy. There's no energy exchange. And for coaching to work, there must be an energy exchange. And even if you're nice enough to give some insight to that person, whether you say, you should, journal it down, or journal your feelings about this, or have a visualization, whatever it is. You can tell them something really quickly to do or whatever. The point of it is that, are they going to do it? There is no energy exchange being made. So are they going to do the work? So back to what I was saying, where I'm not coaching unless I end with the goal, or unless we end with the goal. If you end it with the goal, was it worth it? Did this person actually do the legwork, or try something different to get themselves out of the situation, or to understand their situation in a different kind of way? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. That they will come to you and keep coming to you and say things to you like, what would you suggest your clients do? Or, I saw your video and you said this, so if I tried this, what is it that I need to do? Or, things like that. And they don't do the legwork, then that means that you have wasted your energy. You have not wasted your energy. You have given off your energy. You have energized that person, that situation. You have been left with little energy, or your energy has been drained. Sometimes drained to the point where you can't even go back to the fact that you were cooking dinner, or relax and enjoy your night with your spouse or your child, because now your mind is wrapped up in what just happened with the person on the phone. But at the end of the day, you're not getting paid to do that. And not that you have to get paid to help out with family and friends, but they do have to respect your profession. If you don't demand that people in your life close to you respect your profession, then how do you think anyone else will respect your profession? It's hard enough out there for us as life coaches to explain to people what the difference is between a psychologist and a life coach, a therapist and a life coach, a counselor and a life coach, a mentor and a life coach, and what qualifies you to be a life coach. It's hard enough for us to explain to people who don't know us, people who don't know what we do, but people who have helped you as your clientele when you needed complimentary sessions, for school, or people who have known you or talked to you as you're going through your coaching process, or deciding that you're going to now take certain steps in life, such as making your coaching practice your main priority or your main source of business. These people, they know, they understand, they see the differences, and they like what you do. They respect what you do to a certain extent. And so you have to demand your respect. And so I say that to say, do not feel ashamed of being who you are when it comes to coaching others, when it comes to coaching your family and friends, and when it comes to simply being a friend, a sister, a mother, a father, a brother, a cousin, an aunt, whatever title hat you wear, being comfortable being that and a life coach at the same time, because that's who you are. That's who you are until you say it, that's who you're not. And that's who I am. I'm a life coach. And with that, I'm a life coach. This video is for life coaches, and we need to stick together. And so I say that because a lot of times, it's easy for us to fall in the trap of trying to be like someone else, or trying to do what someone else is doing, or saying, oh, they're doing this, I haven't thought of that, or this worked for them, let me try it for me. We have to find our own path, and as we're finding our own path, that comes with us taking risk and stepping out and doing things the way we do things. Even if it is, oh, that person does videos, I want to try to do videos. Do videos. And do as many as you can until you realize who you are and your style of doing videos. When I went to coaching school, I went in with my own perspective of what coaching was and what I knew and my personal studies, things like that. Then you go into coaching school and they tell you that this is what coaching is. And the key is to mix up all of that, what you knew before, that you kept, what you know now, what you feel is true, and what you experience as you're out here living your life, meaning that you may have agreed with this at this point in time, but it's okay to let go of the idea and do something different. Maybe you have elevated your thoughts or now think of it as this way. And that's okay, but finding your voice is the most important thing. And a lot of times it's hard for us to do that when we're still connected to everyone else who were doing things the same. And when I went to coaching school, I loved my school. I love the people who were there. I love what I was taught. I definitely left with a lot of perspective and more knowledge. I'm more aware, more conscious, more mindful. You know, all those things. Number one thing I learned was lacking judgment, having absolutely no judgment about something and not getting caught up in the person's end result, meaning that it's their journey, you know, not mine at the end of the day. So, but I loved my coaching school. But when I left it, I started to see how cliquey it could be. And so even on like the Facebook groups and things like that, there were the way it was structured and set up, it didn't resonate with me. I don't, not that I don't belong to communities, because that's what we are. We're not by ourselves, it's oneness. It's all a big community. But I felt like when I need to coach, because life coaches need coaches too, and we understand that the amount of legwork changes when we have someone there to motivate us, encourage us, and hold us accountable to the things that we say we're going to do and the people we're trying to be. I hired a life coach, and I purposely went and found a life coach who was not facilitated with the coaching school that I went to. Not because I did not like my coaching school. I love my coaching school, and I would recommend it to anyone who ever came across me who wants to be a coach. Just for the insight, just for their structure, for everything. The coaching program was great. But I felt like when I talked to people in our coaching sessions that everybody was the same, and we're not. And although they do stress, you know, finding yourself, finding your own voice, finding a way to turn all this into you, it's hard to do that when you are so connected with a group who thinks all the same way. We all walked out with a fresh set of new ideas or new ideologies that we came across being in the school. But how do you find your voice when you're throwing out the same things as each other? So I removed myself from all that, and I found a coach who was not facilitated with the school I went to at all. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot because I see our coaching, I see how great it is. I saw her style of coaching. I saw how even though we had different perspectives on things or different, um, you know, points of spirituality we were in our past, we were able to communicate effectively, meaning that she may not have been taught the same kind of quote unquote lingo like from my school when it comes to like energetic levels, things like that. Uh, but when she spoke on it in her frame of reference, we understood. And so no matter what kind of coach you get, if you're a life coach, you're going to eventually want to get a life coach too. It doesn't have to be the same people who you studied with. And the amazing thing is that me stepping away from my coaching school and me not being a part of Facebook, I mean, I dropped Facebook altogether, period, because to work on me, I have to focus on me. There is no focus when you're focusing on your family and friends, what people have going on, or even other coaches and what they have going on, or being part of groups on Facebook that don't allow you to promote yourself, promote your business, promote the workshops and things that you're doing. I get it. I get the whole solicitation things, but like I said, we are coaches, meaning we don't turn it off. If I'm talking to a person and I'm talking to them about the fact that I coach and they say something about how unorganized they are and how they feel, they just really need to start getting organized, and I have a workshop on organization or decluttering your life, I'm going to be able to speak on it freely because I'm a business owner and that's what I do. I don't want to be a part of any groups that say I can't promote who I am. I'm going to promote it because that's me. You're telling me you teach us in school, in coaching school, to learn how to put your business hat on, things like that. But then we get into these coaching groups from the school and we're told no soliciting at all. Or we're joining on a group on Facebook with people who are like-minded and conscious, but they don't want you soliciting anything at all. So what we're going to do, just talk? We're going to just talk and you're going to tell me what you know, what I know, and we're going to go back and forth? Yeah, to a certain degree. But at the same time, I'm also working on my business. I'm also working on things that I need to do for myself. So I had to completely remove myself from focusing anything that made me focus on others, even if it was just seeing their timeline on the side. I wasn't even on there for the timeline. I was there posting my stuff. Anything that took me from focusing from myself, I had to remove out of my life, and that's how I started to find my voice. When I removed all that, got far away from the lingo of the school that I went to for coaching, far away from that kind of lingo, far away from what other people were doing, I started to find my voice. And I started to get more confident in doing videos, more confident in starting up my own workshops and promoting them to other people, because I didn't come across as many red flags as I was when I was trying to do all this within these groups. Groups can often make us stagnant. They can often keep us in our shell. They can often limit our growth. So sometimes you have to pull apart, grow as big as you can, and remember to reconnect. Remember to reconnect. So I am finding my voice still. I definitely came to a place where I feel like I've done lots of work, but the people who I keep in contact with through the coaching school that I was once a part of, they're finding their voices too. And I find that so amazing that everyone you come across come across for a reason, but the people who you vibe with the hardest, they really vibe with you no matter where they are, how far away they are, how often you talk. You see the development in them as you see it in yourself as well. So I will have more workshops coming up. This is just simply a video to connect with the coaches out there, especially the ones from my school, the ones who I know. Hi, everybody, and I hope you're doing awesome. I hope you're living your best life, and I hope you're growing as big as you can grow. And I hope that we can support each other. My intention from this video is for us to support each other on our journeys. Solicit 100%. If there is anything, any workshop, any retreat, anything like that that you have going on, we should share it with each other. We should let each other know. We should support each other. Just how coaches need life coaches, I'll definitely go to a workshop of yours. I'll definitely go to a retreat of yours as long as I, have the time, the money, the resources to go ahead and do that. I'll definitely support a coach. I definitely support a business owner because that's what we do. We understand that people are out here living their best lives when they decide to live it. So when they decide to live it, we shouldn't tell them, keep it on the hush hush. Right now, it's not time for you to promote. No, it's always time. And if that's what you want to do, promote. And if I'm interested in what you're offering, I will definitely come check it out. So support me, I'll support you back, and together as a community we can grow and we can encourage each other to keep on living our life's purpose. When we don't support each other, we often find ourselves going back to these jobs just because they pay the bills, back to jobs we didn't like, back to jobs that that restricted us. We wanted to be liberated. Part of why we became a life coach in the first place, being liberated and living the life that we chose to live. And for some of us, we still work these jobs because we love these jobs. For others of us who have completely walked away, I see people walking back in because they feel like they need to, even if it's part-time. It is killing their soul. It is killing their spirit, their livelihood. And once they wake up to that, they're like, no, I got to do something. I know better than this. I'm a coach. And that's what we need. We need a like-minded community who supports each other so we don't have to feel like we need to go back. And we can remember who we are at all times. We are life coaches.